This was created several months ago. This is just a representative, hey, what do we need? Because you do need some services, you need some amenities, you need food, you need fitness. So right now, this is the E1 block. A lot of the fitness has ended up on the south side of the E1 building, the dialogues that we're having right now. So like you've got massage, fitness, wellness, think of like a HIIT class. We won't share the names, but Pilates, yoga, that mixed in. And then, so your F&B breakfast, for example, we mentioned we'll pick on Pura Vida again, but that would go really well with a high-end Pilates.
Right.
And a high-end yoga and a HIIT class that you're spending $30 a class. And afterwards, you don't mind buying that breakfast burrito.
$18 smoothie. Right. Yeah, you don't mind it.
Because that's your customer.
Back to Grow's headquarters, like do these businesses that, a fitness studio, for example, do they look and say, wow, 50,000 square feet of office, maybe people would come park for work, do a workout class, shower, change, and then go to work right there. Like
Totally.
like how big of a game changer or a factor is having that headquarters office right there in Gasworx for your job, which is these retailers? Like, do they take note of that?
Absolutely. But what I think really matters is the concept of mixed use and the integration of it all.
Yeah.
The residential, the office, the park, the retail, the parking, the city blocks, the walkability, the location.
That office is sort of a piece of this entire pie.
It's a piece of it, and it plays off because look, a lot of those people in the office are going to live in this project. Okay, and there's some people that are going to live in that project that are going to maybe apply for a job at Grow. You'll see it more the other way, I'd imagine, but it makes the case in point. And so going back to the really fun part of the commercial thoughtfulness, which is think about your exact customer upstairs. Who exactly is that? And what business downstairs would best fit their need? And the better you nail that, the more value you create for the whole community. And you'd asked earlier about the balance of doing what's cool or right versus making money. And my favorite part about this process is, and I didn't come up with this is well known, like mixed use development, is if you do it right, you do both optimally. Meaning that you can make a lot of money by doing right for the community and having that right tenant mix.
Is that worked out in some sort of a lease structure where the landlord has a percentage of the sales because the landlord is so faithful about the development and what's to come, but the business needs a little bit more incentive to move forward? So you
each deal's different.
Sure.
We're talking to groups in Miami, New York, out of market, Atlanta, and recruiting them in. Those groups immediately are going to bring press. They're going to bring other co-tenancy nationally seeing that. That's one bucket. The other bucket, you're going to have credit tenants that are local or like a local tenant that's got a good operations, but hasn't expanded out of Tampa. And regional tenants, Florida. So figuring out how to mix that together. And then you need some services, for example, UPS, dental, different things. You have to find that balance as well. And so you're going to have a little bit of what we'll call national mixed into that as well.
Can I ask a question about the east side?
Yeah.
If my orientation is correct, this side on the east is the street that goes directly to 7th and Hotel Haya.
That's right.
So this, I would imagine, is a critical, this is a big walking street. This is where people are going to go from Hotel Haya and 7th to Gasworx. Like, this is it.
Huge walking. So it's a huge opportunity. But you know what? As I've had this discussion over the last several years, every street you can make an argument for how important it is.
Yeah.
But you're right. That one is the main
to me, it's critical.
thoroughfare.
Like when I'm at Hotel Haya right there on the corner going to Kiki Riki and you look down, you can see the Barrel Vault building.
Totally.
And I'm thinking, dude, when that's complete, I'm going to be walking right down that way.
That vantage point.
That little building. I should have bought that damn little old brick building right there on that street. It was a great buy. It was like $1 million or something. But
there's a lot
more
of
to
decades.
come.
I was gonna say you're a young man. We'll talk about your success in a second.
Give me some faith now,
You got plenty of time to scoop these things up. If I had $1 for every time, I'm like, I should have bought that.
Right.
Like,
That's true.
It's a young.
God has a plan for all of us, right? And our real estate careers. On the east side, though, this mix seems more service oriented for people that would live in the community. Is that because it's on that east side, sort of facing the rest of the district?
A few months ago, that was likely the thought. The other thing to consider is you have the park over here, and then you have the activation between the warehouse building and the E1 and E3 on both sides. So how do those tenants cross the road? How do the consumers leave the wellness fitness, come out, see the warehouse building, and come into that?
Mm,
And so to that, like F&B breakfast idea on the corner, that's there, for example, to play off the park. So when you're there, you're seeing the park. And when you're in the park, you're seeing there and you're engaging.
got it. So everything is meant to play off of itself and each other. It's all sort of meant to be, hey, I'm over here, doing a Pilates studio. I walk out, oh, there's a smoothie place right there. Let me grab a smoothie. And then, oh, there's a nail spot. Well, I'm going to hit that after work or whatever that may be.
That's right.
It's all methodically
And
thought
when
out.
I lived in Lower Manhattan, one of our teammates that did retail leasing in Soho, and I've been in real estate my entire life. I've raised money. I've done brokerage. I have ownership portfolio. I have 250 acres all across the country. I thought I knew a decent amount. I'm walking through Soho, Manhattan, and she's pointing out that tenant goes there because that tenant's there because that tenant's there, and the thoughtfulness and that price per foot is astronomical in that market. Of course, it's not a national case study. You can't replicate that, but the thinking to that level of detail is applicable in every project that's mixed use that you do like this. To what level of thought do you put into it? To what level of effort do you put into reaching out to people and bringing them? To what level of success do you have in telling that story and getting them on board? Ultimately creates the outcome and the product and the quality of life for the people living upstairs and visiting from around Tampa and tourists coming off the trolley, zipping in.
This is a sort of a unique opportunity though, because it doesn't exist, right? And so you're building it and you're curating these tenants in specific locations, whereas in New York, the grids existed for 200 years.
It's a good point. But it's absolutely right. The only thing I'd say is some of the concepts are similar in that co-tenancy matters, is all we're trying to say.
Got it.
If we have 30, I believe 26 spaces plus or minus between the E1 through E3, you don't want them all food and beverage. Even if they would all pay you the top rent per foot and they try to do that, you still don't want that. You want a fraction of that, and you want good ones, and you want the right spaces, the hard corners, the part of the warehouse. You want that, but you want them to be able to mix in. We're talking to other non-food and beverage, jewelry, soft goods, different things, because you don't just want to show up and have just one type of business. And you see that a lot in development, is people just lease up the properties to whoever will pay rent or the most rent first.
Hey guys, if you want to watch the full episode of this clip, click right here. Make sure to subscribe by clicking right here. Thank you for watching.